Welcome back on AML study by Suhail. So today's most important topic is FATF. We will explain in detail what is the FATF and what is the different type of functions of FATF. How can FATF implement their recommendations? What is actually objective of the FATF and what is the main reason to establish FATF and why Financial Action Task Force is in recent world is very important and how it will be work and how it will impose some instructions to different type of countries to monitor AML CFT rules as well. FATF is try to stop money laundering and FATF terrorist financing through their recommendations, rules, standards, objectives. So let's start. So first I will explain overview of the FATF. FATF actually established in 1989 in Paris, France, and first a meeting will be held in Paris in France in 1989. It is inter-government bodies and it become once G7 countries are came in on our same agenda and they are created FATF. It's the international International Monetary Fund and the World Bank also offer important perspective to the field because many financial information required from different financial institutions like IMF and World Bank, they are coordinate with the FATF. FATF does not have power to impose fine or penalties. FATF only a monitoring body. They don't have power to put any type of fine, any type of you can say impose fine and penalties. So it is a graduate approach aimed to enhance peer pressure. FATF only put up pressure in in past FATF has then put some pressure on Turkey regarding to impose some they are not fulfilling some recommendation which is came from FATF. And in September 1996 Turkey become of the first FATF member exposed to peer pressure policy because of a certain reason. So FATF has been working under 5-year mandate. Every 5 years they extend the period, but in 2012 they extended till December 2020, and now it's also working. So actually, what is the FATF's mandate? FATF standards to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation of funds. This one is major mandate is 3 mandate which is given to FATF. They've set the standard, which type of standards we will explain in next videos. So their first mandate is set the standards to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, as well as the proliferation of financing. Then assess compliance with FATF standards. Which FATF standards already they introduce, then assess the compliance according to their standards, and they will check how much they are effective and how much they are implemented in different jurisdictions. So as well, it's a mandate to assess the compliance with the FATF standards. Identify, respond to their threats to integrity of the international financial system, high risk jurisdiction and typologies studies. Yes, FATF also study different type of typologies which is used in money laundering as well as in terrorist financing, and they are also identify and make a plan how to you can say respond these typologies. How can stop these typologies and different type of typologies of working in current world regarding to money laundering and terrorist financing. Actually, FATF spread AML message worldwide. basic is objective is spreading AML anti-money laundering message all over the world. It will spread the importance of the AML monitoring importance, then what is the disadvantage of money laundering, terrorist financing, how it will be affect economic situations, how it will be harm for the humanities, how it will harm for economy and as well businessmen. So it's spread and impose some pressure on spreading message. This is very important for current world, and we need to follow the AML message which is come from FATF. As well, it is FATF is monitoring implementation of the FATF recommendation. We will discuss in next video what is the 40 recommendation which is come from us FATF in 1989. But right now we are just overviewing what is the FATF. FATF is also monitoring implementation. Once FATF introduce their 40 recommendation, as well they are time to time check there is implementation of the FATF recommendations. This is also FATF objective. Then review money laundering trends and countermeasures. In past, maybe different typologies used for money laundering, but in current world there is this typologies changed. So FATF will closely reviewing these type of trends, and once FATF is analyze the trends, and then FATF will make a counter measures and counter parameters, controls, how mitigate these things. So FATF also doing this one. So integrated analysis. FATF will analysis two types. In collaboration with other international stakeholders, the FATF work to identify national level vulnerability with the aim of protecting the international financial system from misuse. Technical compliance assessment. Then effectiveness of these, you can say, putting recommendations. So first one we will discuss what is the technical compliance assessment. Technical compliance assessment is center will check which type of assessment is how much is successful. It collaboration with other international stakeholders. The FATF works to identify national level vulnerability with the aim to protect the international financial system from misuse. So FATF technically assessment check in, and there is a complaint, largely complaint, partially complaint, normal complaint, and not applicable. So FATF technical effective assessment is check in these with the through of these 5 outcomes. Then effectiveness assessment. The 2013 methodology FATF defined effectiveness as the extent to which the defined outcomes are achieved. Effectiveness is evaluated on the basis of 11 immediate outcomes. So FATF check the effectiveness of 11 immediate outcomes. So on the basis of this, the FATF given the rating. First one is money laundering, terrorist financing risk are known and action coordinate to combat or thwart the proliferation of money laundering, terrorist financing. As I think you understand with the narration, it is also check the controls of risk are known and action coordinate to combat which type of risk and so coordination as well there. So every jurisdiction should be coordinate with the other jurisdictions, their different type of jurisdiction have their financial intelligence units, named different in different countries, but their mutual contact to coordinate with the other country. FATF also monitored this one. International cooperation provided actionable information to use against criminals. From ABC jurisdiction, some terrorist financer as well money launderer did some activity, suspicious activity, and they go to country XYZ. So ABC country should be like a cooperation with the country of XYZ. So this type of cooperation as well like affect on the rating of the country. Supervisor regulate financial institution and non-bank financial institution and their risk-based AML program. Yes, it will check how much effectively work like a non-banking financial institution as well banking financial institution and their risk-based AML program. They also check the AML program like anti-money laundering, terrorist financing, counter-terrorist financing program. How the organizations, the financial institutions, the non-financial institutions monitor these program and how they are make efficient these type of program with different type tactics which is coming from regulatory bodies. So financial institution and non-banking financial apply preventative measures and report suspicious transactions. Yes, of course, the financial institution closely monitoring all the activities which is happen through their financial institution, and that one which is belong to non-banking financial institution as well closely monitoring their transactions, their customers. So if also they need to put their preventative measures, and if they got any suspicious thing, they need to raise the STRs, SARs, they found any suspicious thing, they need to raise suspicious transactions. So in this way also they are check the effectiveness of the AML safety measures. Legal persons are not misused for money laundering, terrorist financing, and beneficial ownership information is available to authorities. Once the authority have power to check the personal information, the organizations and natural persons. So they also enforce, don't use for misuse this type of information. So they also bound the jurisdiction, don't misuse this type of information. Financial institution information is used by authorities in money laundering and terrorist financing investigation. Yes, they will check the effectiveness, how different type of information which is communicated, and authorities did the investigation either not, and if the authorities did the investigation, and how much they are seriously taken it, and how much they are get the result of this investigation. Either this investigation is based on some potential things, either it is not. So this one also affect on the assessment. Then money laundering offences are investigated, criminally prosecuted, and sanction imposed. This is check the jurisdiction in how much they investigated the cases, criminalize the prosecuted, how can they prosecute these type of cases, and which type of they put sanctions. How central bank FATF will be check in closely these type of things. Then they take a decision what they want to go, given a different type of rating. Either they are putting in a sanction list, either not. Then proceed of a crime are confiscated. Yes, they check the proceedings of the crimes and what is of confiscated or not. Then terrorist financing offences are integrated, criminally prosecuted, and sanction imposed. So in terrorist financing offences, they need to investigate it, criminalize, prosecuted, and put sanctions. Same which is in money laundering, and same will be implement in a terrorist finance. Then there is the terrorist and terrorist organization are prevented from raising, moving, and using money, and not permitted to abuse non-profit organization. Yes, it is also closely monitored. There is a different type of a non-profit organization working in current world, so they are need to closely monitor the terrorist financer and money launderer not abuse these type of organization. So as well they need to given some closely instructions, and as well should be monitored closely. Persons and organizations involved in the proliferation of weapon of mass destruction and prevented from raising, moving, and use of money. Yes, it's the 11th one, effective assessment. They check the persons as well organization, which is either they are involved in proliferation of a weapon of a mass destruction. So they will suppose to put some preventative measures, and they also like stop to moving and using these type of money. So this is like 11, each of 11 immediate outcomes represented a key goal of an effective AML CFT system. They also feed into the 3 immediate outcomes that represent major thematic goals of AML CFT measures. So these are 3 like immediate outcomes which is came from after this this 11 outcomes feed these type of 3 immediate outcomes: policy, cooperation, and coordination, mitigation the money laundering and financing of terrorism risk. Like it will like how you create a policy, then how you coordinations as well cooperation, mitigation regarding to mitigation the money laundering, proceeds of a crime and fund in support of terrorism and preventive from entering the financial and other sector are deducted and reported by these sectors. Then money laundering threats are deducted and disrupted, and criminal are sanctioned type of illicit process. Terrorist financing threats are detected and disrupted. Terrorists are like deprived of resources, and those who financing terrorism and sanctioned, thereby contributing to the prevention of terrorist act. So effective assessment, then they will given the rating of these assessment. There is 4 type of rating of these assessment, like high level of effectiveness, substantial level of effectiveness, moderate level of effectiveness, low level of effectiveness. So if like there is low level of effectiveness, then they will check what is the reason of a low level of effectiveness and how can improve it. They given some suggestions, some tactics, some rules, some instructions. So with the following of these like instructions, then this jurisdiction will be like increase their effectiveness from low to high. So today topic is done, and hopefully you will like learn something from this like presentation. So from next onward, next video I will discuss in detail what is the FATF recommendations and how it will affect on the different type of jurisdictions, and when FATF revised their FATF recommendation, and there is also some special recommendations came regarding to terrorist financing in past years. So how it will be merged in 40 recommendation, and how it will work in a current world, and on the basis of these 40 recommendation, how central bank, how FATF given the rating to different jurisdictions, which is in all over the world. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I really appreciate your feedback, and I would like to request you please subscribe the channel and as well click on bell icon and share maximum videos. It will be very helpful for you, and hopefully if you follow my all videos, it will be more and more enhance your knowledge, and you will get more professional ideas, professional grooming, and it will be affect on your current organization as well, and you will be become more powerful compliance professional. And thank you very much. Stay blessed.